Hello, Dr. Over here. In this quick video, I'm going to go over some of the benefits of using virtualization. So we'll just jump right in and we'll cover these points here on the screen. First, you can save energy, go green, which perhaps you want to save the planet, perhaps you want to save some dollars. So by using virtualization, you can really cut down on the amount of energy it takes to power your data center. Moving us into the next point, reducing the data center footprint. This kind of goes with the other one. If you're saving more of your company's space on power, you're also saving some of the space that it takes to house all the equipment. Less networking gear, smaller number of racks, less people to be handling hardware. So you're able to get smaller, or you're able to get less pieces of hardware that can do more powerful jobs. You can do faster provisioning. That means you can spin up a new server or new service faster than you could if you had to go the old-fashioned way of speccing out a server, calling your representative, or going online, ordering the server, making sure that it's got all the applications and an operating system, joining it to your domain. You can really spin up a server in the matter of minutes. This can bring us to a problem called server sprawl, and we'll talk about that later in the semester, where you spin up too many machines. You can mitigate hardware vendor lock-in. So this one is a little interesting. So when you're doing virtual computing, you're doing virtualization, you can kind of use whatever hardware you want. Kind of. You really don't want to be piecemealing everything together. So this one is a little gray, but it can be a handy negotiating tool that your servers are going to run on your VMware or Zen platform or your Azure platform. So that you might put this in the cloud, or you might put this on-premise, but you can have a little bit more say-so on which type of hardware you use. The opposing argument to this is something called the VTAX. And we'll talk about the VTAX later in the semester as well, probably in a discussion. Another benefit of virtualization is increase in uptime. So your virtual machines are going to offer capabilities such as live migration, storage migration, fault tolerance, high availability, distributed resource scheduling. Especially if you have multiple sites that can run all of your machine, then you're way less likely to have something go down and stay down for an extended period of time. Related to that is improved disaster recovery. So again, if you have multiple warm sites, or you have duplicate type sites, or if you're moved some of your processes to the cloud, then your disaster recovery is going to be easier. And the last one here, this sandboxing and optimization. So this is even newer in the virtualization world, that things are getting more and more isolated in a good way for improved security, improved cost accounting. So you might have a web page. Some of your web page is hosted what we call on-prem at your location. Some of the processes are hosted in Microsoft's cloud, and some of the other processes are hosted in AWS. That sounds very confusing, but what it is, it builds a very fault-tolerant, process-isolated network so that you can put the right services where they're going to work the best, they're going to be optimized, they're going to cost you the least, and give you greater security that everything is not able to access the entire stack of everything you're doing. And the other thing is sandboxing. So this goes all the way back to your conception of virtual computing is now. So you can sandbox, you can run some applications, you can do some testing within a virtual environment with a few settings to make sure that whatever you're testing doesn't escape out of your sandbox and onto your host machine if you're doing a type 2 hypervisor. But all of these are some of the benefits of virtualization. Now I also want you to continue to think about the the disadvantages of virtualization. But for now, these are some of the greatest benefits of virtualization. Thanks.